Hey everyone, it's Marco Arias. Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about Billy Joel's upcoming new single, Turn the Lights Back On. Let's get into it. For those of you who may or may not know, Billy Joel is amongst my favorite artists. He's my top one when it comes to singing, songwriting, and just putting the marriage of the two together into songs. And just scrolling through YouTube, actually it was Instagram, scrolling through Instagram yesterday, I realized he made a post, and in it, it's just him on the piano. There's a little Easter egg that he puts, which is one of his last songs from his last album, Famous Last Words, and he kind of turns the page and he starts playing the piano, and that's where the announcement comes in, Turn the Lights Back On, February 1st, which is, it's only 8 days away, so it's a little bit over a week. That's crazy! This is such big news. When I saw this, I saw, holy shit. Also realizing, I think that's the first time I cursed in a video. Can I curse in my own videos? I think I can. That was my reaction. I was like, I cannot believe this. Mind you, I didn't grow up with Billy Joel. Billy Joel for me was a recent discovery beyond just bystanding, passing by, listening to it on the radio. So I've become a huge Billy Joel fan in the past few years. And so knowing that Billy Joel's last album in 1993, why you should definitely be looking out for it, why you should be anticipating it. I think others around the world will agree that he is a master at what he does. For example, he's probably written some hits that you hadn't bothered to know whom the artist was, and now, well, let me tell you that it's him. So We Didn't Start the Fire, Just the Way You Are, The Longest Time, Uptown Girl. These are just a few of his massive repertoire. I could keep going. Honesty, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. This guy has written some songs that I think not only speak to Americana, but they're global popular music that transcend so many demographics. He's a poet. If you really pay attention to his lyrics, some of these, for example, he's often seen saying that one of his top songs is And So It Goes. It's got one of these lyrics, and every time I felt a rose, it seems I've only felt the thorn. And wow, does that speak to me, and so many others. Vienna. It's another song which is very popular amongst, this is applicable to any age, because it's really that sense of knowing that your time will come eventually, but don't rush, just work towards it, but everything in its due time. And that song is nothing short of lyricism to the heart. Rosalinda's Eyes. He has a series of YouTube videos in which he sometimes goes into depth as to why he wrote these songs. This is actually from SiriusXM, and Rosalinda's Eyes, he was like, this is a song that my dad should have written to my mom. And when you pay attention to it, it's just, wow. I mean, I wish somebody would write me a love song like that. He's just a poet. I'm not one to just claim that people are objectively good based on their awards. As you may know from other videos that I've mentioned, there are things that have been rewarded that I don't share that same energy, and that's alright. Nevertheless, it might be of value to you to know that he's written 33 top 40 hits, has had 23 Grammy nominations, Kennedy Center honors. He's built up quite a list of accolades. And just a personal one on my end, he's been referenced in popular media, like for example in The Office. Steve Carell is a big Billy Joel fan, and most recently I finished watching Ted Lasso, and amongst the last episodes they make a very small in passing reference to him, but in a very good praise. It's also not like, oh my gosh, you don't want to be like him. No, it's like, this is perfection. The Strangers album is what they mentioned, and I totally see where they're coming from. So he is a master at what he does. Again, he hasn't released any music since 2007 actually, so 1993 River of Dreams was his last pop album. However, in 2007 he released 2 songs, All My Life and Christmas in Fallujah. But besides that, kind of the nature of singles, and that could very well be the case with this one. It's just a one-time thing, and that's that. But it's been, I mean, we're in 2024, we're talking 17 years since any new material. He's often been seen, and if you see any interviews or video footage of him, a lot of his current face has been like, you know, I don't feel the same way that I do with pop music, with lyrics. He's mentioned before that he feels like he's reached a cap, and that's as good as he's gonna get, so he's gonna stop. So to see him finally shedding that for a moment, or that's now on pause, that sort of mentality. He's mentioned that what really speaks to him now is just instrumental music. Mind you, anytime that a song happens, it's because somebody has something to say. And he had plenty and wonderful things to say throughout the time that he was an active singer-songwriter. But now that he still is, but just not sharing any original music until February 1st. So to see him finally choosing to say something once again is very, very exhilarating and exciting, as a fan especially. The title, Turn the Lights Back On. What could it mean? There's so much intrigue to that. He is not your typical pop artist, if you will, pop rock artist. He is much more advanced in life as opposed to many of the people that form the large population of that genre, if you will. And so, Turn the Lights Back On, I think it's so symbolic in so many ways. Some will argue that the world is kind of a mess, which he in We Didn't Start the Fire already alluded to, especially in his interviews where he goes like, the world's always been a mess and it will continue to be a mess and we just have to push on somehow. Could this song be not a remedy but just another song acknowledging that in a certain degree? Turn the Lights Back On. It is also very symbolic in that his lights off of just songwriting and sharing material has been off for some while. If you know, and if you've seen from my first video about The Boy and the Heron, to me this might very well represent somewhat of a swan song. He is 74 right now, Billy Joel. He's turning 75 this coming May 9th. And well, we are in an era, in a time of humanity where people are still living for a long time, but some would argue that you start slowing down at a certain age. He is ending his Madison Square Garden residency this coming July, I think. If anybody has a spare ticket, let me know. Could this very well be the end of something? I don't know. There's a lot of mystery behind this new release. It could also be the new chapter of something, like one door closes, another one opens. So that residency is ending, but now this new return to music after a long hiatus could very well be that. I'm definitely gonna be amongst the first people to listen to this. I feel like it's important to support our artists that we are fans of, in the same way that people support each other in successful marriages, through the good times, through the bad times, through the active times, through the not so active times. So I think it's a calling to us fans, or to fans of music, to popular music, to one of the greats, to just be of audience and see what they have to say. I think it's important to mention that this song, from what I've read, it's actually not just written by him. Billy Joel has written, I would argue, 99% of his own music, and that's been very admirable this time around. He's co-written with Freddie Wexler. The Brain Music, that's his company, has joint ventures with Disney, Scooter Braun. Yikes, I'm not too excited about. Warner Chappell and Prescription RX songs. Wayne Hector, who's worked with Nicki Minaj, One Direction, The Wanted, Jose Prusky, and Ollie Murs, and Arthur Bacon. Don't know those last two, I know some of those names. So, 4 people involved in the making of the song, but it seems like Billy Joel is the one spearheading this venture. I kind of wish it were once again him. What I suspect is that they are helping bring a modern sensibility to this song that 17 years out of the game, if you will, as far as we know, would help benefit him. So guys, that's all that I have to say for this upcoming song. As far as my speculation as to what it could be about, why you should listen to it, I am so excited to give this song a listen, hopefully several listens, to see how people cover it, to see him perform it live at some point, God willing. I want to know what you think. Are you going to listen to the song? Do you not like Billy Joel? Why do you like Billy Joel? Please, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe, and I hope that I can keep the conversation going from here on out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.